Hello everybody, welcome back for some more Bloodborne, and today we're going to head right back into Murgo's loft, the middle section, and we're going to go see if we can take down Murgo's wet nurse himself. So, I want to explain something real quick. I know I said I was only going to do like 5 videos this weekend and get them all recorded and maybe uploaded throughout the week, but I ended up having to like render and upload them on, I think I might have actually got a couple done Friday. And I got a couple of them done today, which is Saturday, but this video might not be uploaded until maybe sometime during the weekend. Or, not the weekend, but maybe or maybe not sometime during the week itself. So I'm not particularly too sure when this is going to be done either. Thing is, after I take down Murgo's wet nurse, we're going to be automatically teleported back to the Hunter's Dream. So I don't have to worry about having to run all the way back to the lamp and deal with all that stuff. Now, killing Yharnam herself here isn't really going to do anything. I just killed her just for the fact of just doing it because why not? So, it's really no big deal. Now, the Abritus fight, if I get a chance, after this fight itself, I'm going to go try and attempt it one more time because I do have one piece of insight left. So, after I take down Murgo's wet nurse, I'm going to go... If the game will let me, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go ahead and fight off Abritus. So this is Murgo's wet nurse. Now, I know that I've said previously that some bosses are easy, and most bosses are easier than others, of course, no surprise. This one in particular, to me, is one of the very few easier ones in this game. So first things first, just obviously keep down the patterns and just watch the timing on when and where you should be attacking Murgo. Now, as you can tell, I'm getting like a couple of nice, easy hits on it. I don't know if it's a he or a she. I assume it's probably more likely, from what it looks like it's probably a he, but I'm just going to call it an it. Because after all, it is just kind of a creature that we've never really technically seen before. Now, the thing with Murgo is it doesn't have very much range, but there's one particular attack that you need to be very careful of. This is one attack that you do need to watch out for because, again, that attack right there can actually hit you from a little bit of a distance. It has a little bit of a longer reach than most. That attack right there is obviously an attack that's going to be used to basically get in close with a few shots on you. Now, getting Murgo's wet nurse to basically get into a visceral state is kind of a little bit more difficult than most, I think. I don't actually think you can get it into a kind of interrupted state. I don't think so. Now, whenever it does this attack right here, it may or may not do 2 other hits. That attack right there is the one that you need to be the most careful of. This one, wait for your perfect opportunity to attack. The opportunity to attack after it decides to like swipe around. Hold on, like right there. Like right there. Once you get dodged away, that's when I recommend you attack. Like right now. Now the thing is, whenever you go inside of this purple transformed mist deal, you're gonna have to put up with at least 2 different kind of Murgo wet nurses. It doesn't last the entire bit of the fight. It's only just like every once in a while Murgo's wet nurse will actually use it to its advantage. Now sometimes, granted, it actually does kind of go away faster than any other times, and sometimes you don't have to put up with the second, like, miraged version of Murgo's wet nurse itself. Now, of course, it also has a teleport, and just kind of be a little bit more weary of that. Now, again, this attack right here, it goes once, twice, and then 3 times. Going for 1 hit, or 2 if you can get lucky enough, and you'll pretty much be good enough to go. This one has a crazy-ass wind-up, though, to it as well. That's the one you want to be very careful of, because just wait for the wind-up, wait for the wet nurse to eventually kind of just like, attack and then be done attacking you, and then go in for a couple of hits, because that wind-up does take kind of a bit of energy from it, so it has to like kind of balance itself out pretty much, which is something I like about Bloodborne. Like these bosses, some of them have some crazy-ass damaging attacks, but for the most part, just like any other game, light attacks typically are weaker than heavier attacks. That's for the most part. Now, the key thing to this, most of the time, as you guys probably have realized now, is it will start doing the swipe attack. It does that at least 3 times. But I believe that inside this purple mist deal here, the Wet Nurse itself does not seem to really utilize all of its attacks to a specific pattern. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Like, basically, you know how earlier, like, it will do, like, 1 swipe to, like, 2 other swipes? Like this one right here, for example. See, it just does 1 round of swipes, and that's it. And then after a while, it's just like, yeah, I'm done. And I think I actually probably did end up dying. Huh. Oh, damn. Alright. So, I had to go back there again. That was... It got me on that one. I'm not calling it cheap shot or anything like that. I probably should have utilized fighting the other one instead of having to worry about the main one. Now, I think if you fight the other one, I don't think it actually will make it disappear by any means, but it more than likely would. I would believe so. Using your gun's not really going to help because all you're really doing is just getting some extra bit of damage on it. So if you really wanted to do something like that, then, you know, by all means go ahead, of course. Murgo's Wet Nurse is not hard. It's just a matter of staying back and using range attacks to your advantage. This boss right here is one of the very few bosses you really need to worry about using range attacks with. By ranged attacks, I mean something like a Kirkhammer, Ludwig's, or the Saw Cleaver, Saw Spear. Things that can actually transform into something a little bit longer and have a decent bit of range. Now, as you folks know already, the Saw Cleaver is practically one of my personal favorite weapons. And I've been using it for like pretty much half of the game, for the most part. Mainly due to the fact that it's just so damn good. I don't recommend using the smaller version of the Saw Cleaver for this fight, due to the fact that these elongated swipe attacks that Murgo's Wet Nurse will do. Let's call it the Wet Nurse, or let's call it the Nurse. The Nurse itself utilizes a lot of close quarter combat abilities. That's why I've been saying, you know, try to use a weapon with a decent bit of range. Of course, the Nurse itself can use specific ranged attacks, and sometimes figuring out the timing of when you need to avoid can be a little bit tricky, and trying to figure out where exactly those attacks are going at can be a little bit painful too. But for the most part, you should be fine. This one I recommend staying just a little further away than when I'm staying, because as you just seen there, if I got too close, it did end up hurting. Now, the timing for the dodges is not too bad because, again, the Nurse has a crazy-ass wind-up. This attack right here, this multitude of swipes, is pretty much weak. So it's basically just a bunch of light attacks that just pretty much happen to go in, you know, it just happens to do like a bunch of multi-light attacks, I would say, for the most part. Now, of course, you know, just be wary of the second Nurse that comes out. And I think if you damage the Nurse long enough, I think eventually the other one will disappear. But it basically just uses, it pretty much just uses the other Nurse itself just as a way to like kind of piss you off a little bit. Just, it's protecting itself with the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and use Sephiroth's Vial there, because that shit hurts. I don't know how the hell I just got a bit of extra vials right there. Or I guess I didn't use any, did I? Alright. So again, just keep dodging, and, you know, if one comes up, just shoot in the face, and for the most part, you should be fine. Alright. This thing does not last very long. I mean, granted, right now, it is lasting a lot longer than I would have thought it would have. But for the most part, it doesn't really last too long. Now, that attack right there is a kind of a scary attack because it has a bit of a wide range to it whenever it does it. So that's what I'm kind of worried about. And of course, this attack right here is pretty fucking painful. So I need to be a little bit smarter. I do utilize my vials quite a lot, and you know, for the most part, I don't really use my Quicksilver too much. But just for the just for the fact of just using it, because, well, granted, I'm gonna need more Quicksilver, but I'm just gonna go ahead and if I have, I'm gonna get enough blood echoes when I kill it, of course. I think we got an invisible state. No, we did not. I'm gonna probably more likely get just plenty enough echoes to where I can go ahead and just buy some stuff. The thing is, like, I need to use my Quicksilver as a finishing move instead of just using it just to do little bits of damage here and there. When it does that attack, go ahead and get behind it and get at least, I'd say, maybe 3 hits in. That's a decent amount of hits right there. Alright, watch out for that wind-up, because that shit hurts, and it actually will knock you back. And no, I'm not going to show that off. Because again, it does hurt. Now, if you get close to Murgo, if you get behind it and you try to do like a few, you know, decent, quick bit of hits, it will eventually just dodge out of the way like any other enemy technically would, because Granted, I mean, I'm sure all you fine folks out there would more than likely be doing the same thing as well. I'm going to utilize my advantage. Utilize everything that I can. I'm going to stay the fuck away from those ranged attacks, because that shit can hurt. It's doing the same thing that the Shadows of Yharnam can do, where it reaches out its goddamn swords, or its blades, to where it really fucking hurts. Oh shit. This might not be so good. I'm trying to like get it killed off with as many bullets as I possibly can. But I'm trying to find that perfect time where I can actually, you know, pretty much get some nice hits in. Oh, that's the one that's going to disappear. Should have figured. That's the one I think that teleports in, yeah. It looks to me as if you can just shoot it and get it to kind of leave. The one that's the main one will stay. So, alright, and Murgo should be killed. See, I killed it. I did die to it once. Granted, that was my fault for practically being an idiot and kind of letting myself die on that part. But it's, I would say, out of all the fights in this game, it's the most fair. Cleric Beast is a little bit unfair to the Cleric Beast itself, because you do end up kicking its ass. Mikolash is the same way. He's got some really damaging attacks that are just painful as shit. Now, as you just noticed, it took a while for the Nightmare Slain thing to come up. Well, pretty much... Well, I guess we didn't get... Okay, so we didn't get automatically teleported back to the Hunter's Dream. But we go back to the Hunter's Dream, something different's going to be happening. Well, anyway, instead of saying, like, Prey defeated, or Prey slain, or whatever, it says Nightmare Slain. So, yeah. I think we actually can go back. Yeah, I believe so. Alright. I'm going to try to level up real quick. At least maybe a level, just because. Extra defense is going to help. I'll get that endurance up. We'll get that up. Oh, hell with it. I might just do that. I'll level up twice. I'm going to level up twice, get my health upgraded, and get my endurance upgraded. I'm going to go ahead and fortify and repair as much stuff as I can. I already have my saw cleaver fully upgraded, so there's really no big deal with that. I can't fortify anything anymore. Could always just buy more shit, but I'm going to save my insight. I think you can buy... Yeah, you can buy bolt paper. Okay, sweet. 52. Oh, no. We need to buy at least... you guys, I think I'm going to go with 30 on this one. Because, like, I can use my up on the D-pad thing to kind of pretty much help me, you know. Oh, shit. That's a lot of fucking money. Damn, boy. Try to buy, like, not 30, but like 15 of these. I'll buy, like, 15 of these. And maybe... Like, I guess apparently I can only buy one. But damn, that shit's expensive as hell. Should be good to go. I can sell all that shit and just get more stuff, but eh. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back to the Lumen Flower Gardens. And before we decide to go take on Gurman himself, and I'll explain in just a minute what happens. You have... Well, not in a minute, I'll explain right now. You have two options. He will give you two options of what you can do. There are 3 different endings to this game. Yes, you have to play this game 3 different times to obtain all the endings, of course. Now, the thing is, there's the secret ending where you must consume all 3 of the umbilical cords. I recommend doing it. Do it before you fight Gurman. The thing is, the first ending, you accept your fate. When it says accept, then basically you get killed and you get sent back to the real world. But this time, it's going to be daytime. It's going to be morning time. I'm not going to show off all the endings, of course, because really there's no point for me going through all this. You guys can find that stuff on your own on YouTube, of course. When that happens, you go back, when you do the accept, you pretty much go back to the way things pretty much should be. Morning comes. And after morning comes, you know, everything's all willy-dilly. It's all dandy and fun, fine, all that great stuff. And then the refuse one, you fight Gurman. And if you have not consumed at least 3 of the 4 umbilical cords, what happens is, instead of getting the secret, and well, instead of finding the secret boss in Moon Presence itself, You have to fight just Gurman by himself. And holy shit, you're about to die. You need to, like, heal up now, boy. Like, granted, I'm probably gonna end up dying too, but shit, like, this guy seriously needs to, like, fucking heal himself up. I hate fucking Abritus. Again, I'm just gonna fight it just this last time. And if I can't do it, then oh well. Then I just won't worry about it anymore. Like, granted, I'm doing a decent bit of damage to it. You know, that is true, what's going on right now. I'm doing a nice bit of damage, and just having some assistance for once in this goddamn game, just, it helps a lot. And, you know, that's the thing I like about Bloodborne 2, is, like, you can use, now you can, try fighting this thing without assistance. It's a lot more difficult than you folks might see it as. Attack Damien, not me. I said attack Damien, not me. I know that's what she's trying to do, but I'm, like, getting in the way. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Gotta get that visceral in. As long as I get that visceral in, I should be fine. I'm gonna roll out of there real quick, because this is gonna fucking hurt. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna whip out some extra Quicksilver bullets. Hey! Turn your attention to me, you dumb bitch. No, I know he died. I saw that. Holy shit. Well, thing is, she's not doing a whole lot of damage right now, as is. So, if anything, I am pretty much, for the most part, fine. That attack right there hurts like a fucking ass. See, that's the thing, like, she does that move where she'll jump in toward you, she'll slam her head on the ground, thinking, you know, oh yeah, I can get a nice, easy hit on her, but then, you know, fucking, it's not gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. Yes, I have beaten her. Yes, I can beat her. But for the sake of the Let's Play, I'm not gonna bother with it. I'm sure plenty of people out there are probably yelling at me right now. They're like, "Fuck you, Alex. Why the fuck you not fighting it and shit? You know, you little bitch." Well, let me explain to you. She's hard as hell. She's bullshitting everything I'm doing. I'm not messing with it. I'm not playing around anymore. I'm done fucking around with it. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna use all three of the umbilical cords. I believe you have to use it at this moment. So any point during the game, you should be allowed to use all three of the umbilical cords. And upon doing so, we should get the secret moon presence boss. I would say. I would hope so, at least. For the most part, we should. I'm gonna go ahead and buy fucking... Well, fire paper probably would be better, considering I'm fighting a hunter, because it is Gurman, so I'm going to go fight him instead. I'm going to refuse my fate. I'm going to fight him. After you fight him, if you've consumed all three of the umbilical cords, you will be finding the moon presence. That's how it should be, unless the game is just going to say, fuck you. If it says, fuck me, well, that's going to be the end of the Let's Play, so fuck that shit. I will show off more stuff. I'll show it off in a bonus clip. Well, I might just do a bonus episode, if anything. Or, yeah, I might just do like a whole bonus episode. That I think would be much easier than having to put up with this shit. So, as you can see, he says he'll basically kill us. If he kills us, we go right back to basically, you know, not really the beginning of the game, but we just kind of just are freed from the dream, unlike Gurman himself. I'm going to refuse that fate instead. Now, in the cutscene where you accept or you submit your life, Gurman will get up and he will pretty much chop your head off and kill you. There is no secret like, oh, you picked this? Fuck you. We actually meant the other one. It's none of that bullshit. So, Gurman is actually one of my personal favorite bosses of any game, really, because as a final boss, he is a badass. This guy has been sitting in a wheelchair for days, months, years on end, never questioning anything at all, and just going along his so-called freedom that he has inside of the dream itself, which, that's the thing too, there is no freedom. I love the way he says that too. That is actually pretty fucking badass. So, Gurman, goddamn, he's a tough motherfucker. He's just very quick, very agile, but of course, just like any other regular hunter, he can be interrupted. Now, that move right there is that's one of those moves that I have some decent amount of trouble avoiding due to the fact that the timing on him it's weird, I would say, nonetheless. Granted, a pistol will work, and yes, you can sort of stun lock him. By stun lock, I mean you can actually break him out of a combo that he's about to do on you. Like, if he's trying to hit you, you can just use your normal attacks, for the most part, to pretty much stop him from doing it. I recommend using your guns, obviously, as, interrupts. Get as many viscerals as possible. Now, once you take out the first phase of him, at least 75 of his health, he's eventually going to start utilizing his gun. That gun fucking hurt. Now, the thing is, if you have just a decent amount of blood tinge, you should be fine in this fight. The thing is, I didn't really upgrade my blood defense all that much. But when it comes to like hunters and stuff in this game, when it comes to this game in general, blood defense is it's a really nice bit of help, I would say. So if you're fighting German for the first time and you get killed off like I do, you have the opportunity to go back and grind up some more. May I remind you folks out there that the Forbidden Woods is not a bad place to go get some echoes at. So if you want to go get some echoes, go back there, grind up your blood defense, and take out German that way. Blood defense is the most helpful defense because it protects you from these stupid-ass gunshots. I mean, it doesn't protect you from getting, visceraled or anything like that. No, of course not. What it protects you from is just the amount of damage that basically blunderbusses will do to you. And blunderbusses will fuck you up hard. There's no joke about that. They hurt. I can do it without fire paper and bolt paper, but I feel as if... I feel, in my opinion, that paper just helps me win these fights. I'm going to be using the blunderbuss for this fight for the most part, due to the fact of its increasingly wide range that it has. It has a decent amount of range. The thing is, just like Dante Algarilli, or whatever its fucking name was, Dante from Dante's Inferno, just like him, I'm about to say Kratos, fucking German has the ability to basically grab you with his scythe. His scythe is called the Burial Blade, and yes, we do actually obtain the Burial Blade after defeating German. You will actually get his weapon. Now, I think you can get his weapon in a different way, but I think for the most part, the best way to do it is just fight him himself. I think, do we even have echoes? Probably not. Now, be very careful when he's got his gun out, because again, he can do interrupts, and he will destroy you with interrupts if he has to. Now, right now, in this particular phase, he's not really too aggressive, as you can tell. Yes, he does get up in our face, and yes, he does try to hurt us a lot, but for the most part, he's not really too aggressive. I want to say something real quick. Right now, I'm actually missing a rune that I do need. And that rune that I actually want is a rune, whenever you do visceral attacks, you actually obtain more Quicksilver bullets. You get 2 back every time you do it. So I think that, that's a rune that I should have got, but I didn't, because I'm pretty much a failure, folks. So, after you get him down to about, I'd say 50 health, eventually he's going to start giving himself a little speed boost. And yes, he is a punk ass. But keeping your distance from German and just healing yourself up should help you. Now, this attack right here is utterly painful, I would say, for the most part, because it's extremely dangerous. Just like any other attack that German's going to be throwing out at us, any attack that he does, of course, obviously, is going to be fucking dangerous. So, of course, we need to avoid him at all costs. He's quick on his feet, but he's not really, again, like I said, extremely aggressive like most of the other bosses we fought in this game before. He's kind of more laid back, I'd say, with his fighting, because like he's just a hunter just like us. Obviously for the most part. Now the thing is, he does have some bone marrow ash, and he will use it. I actually kind of forgot that he ever did that though. Thing is, his bone marrow ash actually interrupts you no matter what. You will get stunned if he hits you with it. Even if you're not even swinging at all, he will still interrupt your ass no matter what. So just be a little careful of that. Alright, let's see here. Trying to get a few good pop shots on him. I'm going to try to stay away. Alright, I'm gonna avoid this attack the best I can, that way I don't get hit, because that actually does hurt a lot. This attack right here hurts like a fucking bitch. Alright, what's he doing now? I believe he's doing some, like, basic, super, like, ultimate attack right there. And thank God I killed him before he did that, because that was... Holy shit. I'm glad I got away with that attack. That would have hurt. That would have hurt like a bitch. Okay, so after defeating Gurman, you obtain the Old Hunter badge. So what I'm going to do is, if we get to fight the Moon Presence, which I believe we have to fight the Moon Presence, I'm going to die by the Moon Presence, and I'm going to return to the Hunter's Dream, and I'm going to go ahead and read about the Old Hunter badge, and then after that, I'm going to basically see if I can probably buy the Burial Blade, because I think you can probably buy it. Like, if you die in this fight, you go back to the Hunter's Dream, no matter what. So, thank God for that. Now, the thing is, if we refused our fate, if we refuse to get our heads chopped off, the Moon Presence will come down and it will absorb us. What happens in that ending is we become the new Gurman. So basically the Moon Presence is the utter control of the Hunter's Dream in particular, no matter what. It's the one controlling Gurman, pretty much. It's the one that stuck Gurman in this dream. So, yeah. And it basically just kind of controls Gurman in general. That's pretty much what it does. Yeah, that's exactly what it does, practically. Alright, let's see what the Old Hunter's badge does, and hopefully I still have just plenty enough of blood vials and hopefully Quicksilver bullets to help me out here a little bit. If anything, I'm going to go ahead and I might just have to sell my stuff. I should be good on equipment, for the most part. Let's talk to, Yeah. No, she's telling me that stuff. Alright. Alright, so what did I need to do again? The Old Hunter's badge, yes. Alright, let's take a look at it real quick. Somewhere in here, somewhere. The Old Hunter badge. This Hunter's badge, crafted in Gurman's time, has no practical purpose, except perhaps to assist in romanticizing about the past. The badge was a special privilege for the hunters of the past, and should not be dishonored. It should be left in peace unless one is truly prepared to assume the will of those gone before. Basically meaning, if you kill Gurman, guess what? You have to put up with his shit. The Burial Blade. 60,000 goddamn echoes. Jesus Christ almighty. Now, I don't need sedatives anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and sell that stuff off. I'm going to go ahead and try to get pretty much all my stuff back, I would say, because after this part of the game, we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done at this point forward. There's no need to upgrade. There's no need to worry about it. I'm doing this on my own merit, folks. I'm not... You guys don't need to do this yourselves. I'm doing it for myself, just to kind of just give me some extra bit of boost in this Moon Presence fight. The Moon Presence actually is an easier fight to deal with than Gurman himself, and yes, I didn't die on purpose, to be honest. I actually was trying to fight him off, and I ended up dying, so... Now, the Moon Presence itself, I don't think can be interrupted, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you actually can get it into a visceral state, so... Holy shit. I'm just really shitty at avoiding it, apparently. That seems to be a common mistake with what I end up doing. I'm going to try to make this video as long as I possibly can to make it a finale. That way, you know, we kill off 3 bosses in one video. I think that would be a great fucking video. I think that would be a great fucking video. The Moon Presence, like I said before, is not hard. It's just goddamn hurts. And okay, that goes without saying. That's every single boss in this game. Every single goddamn boss in this game just kicks my ass. Like, no matter what. I'm surprised I got away with most of the fights in the beginning of the game, considering the fact that Gascoigne typically is the one that actually kicks my ass the most out of anybody. Now, I don't think it's exactly weak to fire. If anything, I think it's probably more likely weak against just bolt, if anything. Typically, non-hunter enemies are the ones that typically are weaker to bolt. Like monstrous enemies like this. At the Moon Presence. Oh, wait, yeah, we did get into a visible state. Nice. Except, not doing it. Well, we're doing damage to it, of course. Now, here's a little fun little trick that you can do. Not just this one right here, but there's a fun little trick that you can do with this fight. And it has to deal with all the tombstones, pretty much, around the area. Because we are in a graveyard, of course. And as you folks can tell easily, if I stay away or if I basically lead the moon presence to hit a tombstone, eventually it will pretty much run into it, and then after it runs into it, it kind of just, you know, it negates the attack. For some reason, like, the damn thing can't actually attack me for some odd reason. I don't know why. Alright. Hopefully this time I can actually kill the damn thing. Yeah, like, as you see, like, it can't really attack through the tombstones. Now, whenever it does that super explosive attack, get in close and then beat the shit out of it. That's a pretty damn obvious, you know, foresight right there. I'm sure you guys probably figured that out yourselves. Of course, he does have a back dashing attack, which actually reminds me of fucking Ludwig. Ludwig's fight in the DLC, and that fight sucks. By the way, folks, it sucks ass. No, I'm not going to be doing DLC on this channel. Not at the moment. Future, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, as you can tell, he's definitely kicked my ass. But he does back up a few times, so it's not all that bad. Oh, shit. I'll try to get behind him and hit him that way. Oh, fuck me. Oh, damn, we got him pinned down now. Oh, I think you can get him into a blissful state. No, we can't. Oh, shit, we killed him. Well, there you go. That's... Oh, stop. That's the next Nightmare Slain. That's the final Nightmare Slain. And look how much money I get. Jesus Christ. Almost 300,000 fucking blood echoes. We can buy that burial blade and more.
Are you cold? Oh, good hunter.
Alright, so, there you go, folks. That's Bloodborne for you. I beat it without fighting... I didn't kill Arbritas. That's the only optional boss I did not kill. But I did show you folks where it was. Again, this is not a 100% run of Bloodborne. This is just my particular Let's Play, and I found some things more difficult than others, of course, and I decided to choose not to do that kind of stuff. I don't know where that other rune I was talking about was at. If anything, I have it on my other account. But not other account, my other profile, I should say, so... Well, that pretty much takes care of Bloodborne. That's my first Souls game I actually beat on this channel so far. And by the way, I will say this. Alright. With all the bullshit going on, and now that I can actually finally take a goddamn break from this game for just a little bit, well, Bloodborne is a... What do you would say? It's like a... It's not really like a masterpiece by any means, but goddamn, it is good. If I had to give an actual score, I would give it a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10. I know that's a joke that goes around all over the internet, but it's not a perfect game. It's at that brink of perfection, of course. You know, nothing can be perfect. You know, that's the only excuse that I can come up with, that I have to say, is... You know, it can't be perfect because nothing can. So, but it's a damn good game, and don't let me steer you wrong or anything like that. You know, with all that rage that came after the half point of the game, don't let that scare you away from this game. This game needs to be picked up by anybody that owns a PS4. If you have a PS4, get this goddamn game. If you don't have this goddamn game already, go buy a PS4, whatever you need to do, and go get it. Like, what are you waiting for? It's great. It's a great mix of hack and slashing, and it's a great mix of RPG. And personally, out of all the Souls games, it's my definite favorite. Like, no doubt about it. I just do not like... I don't like the other Souls games. I've never been impressed with them at all. Like, they were fun for a little bit, like Demon Souls and some other stuff. Dark Souls 1 was the one that kind of tipped the scale. Like, Dark Souls 3 is pretty good, but Dark Souls 1 was at the point when I said, I like Bloodborne better. And, you know, I decided that I didn't like Bloodborne better. I really do. And, you know, fucking, that's just pretty much how it is. I prefer Bloodborne over any of the other Souls games. Because with Bloodborne, like, I have this fascination with creepy and freaky stuff. And, I don't really do, like, scary horror games on my channel by any means. It's just, there's a twisted, weird sense of disgusting and grossness in this game that actually, it makes me come back and makes me want to look at it more. There's a deeper lore than what I gave away, obviously. This game has some damn good roots going into it. It's got a lot of lore and story that has been told before, and I'd recommend go checking that out on YouTube. There's plenty of people that I'm subscribed to that do stuff like that. By plenty, I mean like one or two, but that's plenty enough for me. There's plenty of people that I watch that do Bloodborne stuff or just Souls stuff in general that give you all that great detail about what's going in the Souls games and all that other great stuff. Now, the thing is, we're not going to be getting a Bloodborne 2 from what I understand. Now, it's just like that one day when I told my cousin, I would love to have Bloodborne 2. He said, well, what would they do? And I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, you're right. What could they possibly do to make a Bloodborne 2? The only thing I can think of is maybe have something like continue the work of the Healing Church for the most part. That's all I can think of. Now, at the top of my head, the story works out as we're a foreigner that comes down with a sickness. We hear about this place called Yharnam that can actually cure our sickness, or it can cure any sickness pretty much. So we go over there and you find out even deeper and scarier things that are going on. The thing is, the Healing Church went down into the Chalice Dungeons and they found a great old one, as they call it. And when they found that great old one, they also found some other mysterious things. Yharnam herself actually was going to give birth to Murgo. That's a great one. That's a baby great one. Because the great ones came down and they wanted to spread their offspring, but they couldn't do it with themselves, I guess, which is interesting because they had sex, or they impregnated a woman who actually was, I don't know what they called them. They might be just called Yharnamites, if anything. But they impregnated a woman, and these people live pretty much in dungeons, in Chalice Dungeons. And they impregnated her, and she gave birth. Well, I think she had a C-section. As you can see, on her body, she's kind of cut open. There's blood coming out. So that was supposed to be Murgo, who's supposed to be another great one. And I'm not really 100% sure on how Gehrman got to be in the Hunter's Dream exactly, but I do know that the Moon Presence basically controls the Hunter's Dream, but he just has Gehrman walking around kind of managing it a little bit, I guess you could say. Now, when we went back to the old Hunter's workshop, we saw what looked to be like the doll there, and basically Gehrman was a lonely old bastard. And he basically made the doll that way he can actually have a little bit of company. And inside the Hunter's Dream, the Moon Presence actually gave him company. And, which I could say is actually really nice of it. And, of course, Gehrman actually does remark, you like that doll out there, don't you? Do whatever you want to it. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah. If I can do whatever I want to that thing, I'm going to level up as much as I want. Yeah, that's some kinky-ass shit. No, but for real, hold on, folks. Let me grab my controller back here. But, again, I could not recommend this game any more than I recommend it now. Now, as you folks already noticed, I do tend to not really switch out my clothing. I don't really upgrade specifics. I only upgrade specific stuff that I feel like is necessary for that moment in time. And for the most part, yeah. Now, after defeating the Moon Presence, of course, you get 299,000 echoes. That's a ridiculous shitload of amount. I ended up being level 70. So here's my stats at the end game. This is what I finished off with. Level 70. I had 26 vitality, 25 endurance, 24 strength, 15 skill, 15 blood tinge, and 15 arcane. My frenzy resistance is pretty good right now due to the fact that I actually have some decent ass clothes. Of course, I don't have every single rune possible. I'm still missing some, and of course we have these two chalice dungeons that you could easily go to, but of course, as it says, you need Ritual Blood 4 and Cold Blood, Fire Blood, but we sold that shit off, so you folks can deal with that stuff when you get that chance. Raising stamina would be nice, but I didn't really have it right now. Strengthens and visible attacks, which could be useful too. I could have switched that one out, obviously, but I didn't. There's a rune in here somewhere that I believe that I do not have, that whenever you do a visceral attack, you get Quicksilver bullets back with it. So go look that up, find that yourself, and yeah. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and exit the game real quick. I'm going to show you pretty much my other account, and I'll show you exactly how many, what level I am on my other account, so I can show you folks how I played Bloodborne pretty much. Show you how much time and effort I put into playing Bloodborne, which I think I showed at the beginning of the Let's Play, but you never know, I might have cracked in some more hours, or maybe even more stuff from it. There I am, Alex Senpai, level 220, and I spent 107 hours on the game. I think that's what that is. Well, hang on. Yeah, 107 hours, 53 minutes, and 48 seconds. And I only... Never mind that one. I spent 16 hours, 47 minutes, and 11 seconds trying to beat this Bloodborne. So, yeah. There's that. As you can see, I have played quite a bit of Bloodborne, and I do love Bloodborne for the most part, so... If anything, folks, I hope you all enjoyed this Let's Play. And I guess right now, since it's technically the end of my Let's Play, I have just a few more minutes I want to go ahead and squeeze in real quick. I'm going to explain what my next Let's Plays are going to be. So, my buddy at work said that I should do Kingdom Hearts 1.5 next. And I said, alright, that sounds good to me. You know, I wanted a reason to basically do it. I was going to do it eventually one of these days. I just didn't feel like I should get around to it at that moment. But you know what? He wanted to see Kingdom Hearts, and I said, alright, we'll do it. Thing is, this year might be a year of RPG-ish games. So, we're getting some pretty good RPG games coming out this year, and I might just do some pretty good RPGs that I like personally, for the most part. After that, I would like to do Ratchet & Clank 2 sometime in the future. I would like to do Jak 2 sometime in the future. I'd like to go back, replay Crash Bandicoot 100%. I would also like to start with Crash Bash as well. I'd like to get to work on the Spyros, the other Spyros, because Legend of Spyros are actually pretty fucking fun. I could do those, of course. You know, there are different series in that franchise, but I like to start in order of where everything started and just kind of work my way off with the spin-offs. God of War, on the other hand, Chains of Olympus, I believe, is next. Metal Gear Solid is another game I want to start as well, and Metal Gear Rising. See, the thing is, if I can do the Legend of Spyros, I can do Metal Gear Rising. Because Metal Gear Rising, like, it's a part of the Metal Gear franchise and the series and the lore itself, but it's in a different perspective, so I see it as a different section of that franchise that I can totally play. You know, like, there's 3 Legend of Spyro games, and there's 3 basic Spyro games. So I played the Spyro games, and I kind of want to start with the Legend of Spyro games as well. They're fucking actually pretty fun. I like to get my hands on the Crash of the Titans and Mind of a Mutant games, but I can't seem to find them goddamn anywhere. I'm going to look on Amazon and get them that way. I used to play Crash of the Titans back in the day. I sold it, rented it, did everything I could to it, bought it again a couple times, sold it again. It's just one of those things. My next Sonic game is Sonic Heroes, but I also want to do Shadow the Hedgehog. So if I allow myself to do Shadow the Hedgehog, I can probably more likely branch out into like other spin-off games that have nothing to do with the original games intentionally. Well, Metal Gear Rising kind of does, but it's not really too particular with those. So, I'm either going to be doing Metal Gear Solid this year or Metal Gear Rising, so stay tuned for that. So, my next Let's Play that I'm going to be doing on this channel is Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. So, I will see you all then. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on the next weekend when we start up our Kingdom Hearts Let's Play. Also, top 10 coming soon. I want to get my top 10 actually done before I start Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, so it probably won't be next weekend. I'm going to try to get my next top 10 done before I start Kingdom Hearts. So it might be a weekend or two. So, alright. Anyway, folks, take care, everybody.